Man, that's an unbelievable win for our ball club. We've been here for 11 years. That might be the best road win that we've ever had as a program. And, I mean, if you look back at Auburn basketball history, that might be one of the best road wins we've ever had as a program. So I never mentioned to the guys that we had in 1 year and 30 years. Didn't think it was prevalent because all new players, new staffs. So, we just kind of kept our mentality on what we need to do to beat Florida. And, I thought our guys, for about 32 minutes, executed the game plan to perfection. And, our team 3 weeks ago would not have won this game. And that just speaks to our growth as a team, our growth as a staff, and our kids just, willingness to stick together and really lock into the details and things that we've been harping on every single day in practice, and we've just continuously gotten better as a group. And, for us, it's about what we do from here, because while we be probably the best team in our league on the road, like we can't, while we never got too low, we can't let this get us too high, because, if we let this thing affect us in a way that can distract us from the next one, that really doesn't mean anything. So we got to get on the next one, and we got to go to Texas, because, they're obviously playing good basketball right now. But unbelievable environment. That was probably the best crowd I've ever seen in this building since we've been at Auburn. And it should be, because that's a Final Four caliber team. And, I thought our guys just did a good job of executing the things that we had to do in order to win. And we're able to come away with a great win. So, taking questions.
We also have Keshan Murphy up here for questions, so we'll start with Ike. Go ahead.
Coach Pearl, talk a little bit about the defense, particularly in the first half that you guys had against Florida. What were the things that you were seeing from your team in the half that
we were just swarming the ball, and we really talked about keeping everything in front of us. We had some discussions on whether or not we were going to switch, and we just figured, we got to do what we do best, and switching's been really good for us over the last, couple weeks. And we just didn't let their size affect us. Our bigs did a great job of kicking the guards out anytime we did catch a switch. And, we wanted to make them settle for contested or for jump shots. And, they made 4 of them in the first half, but that was something that we were okay with. I thought the biggest difference in the first half was we held them 4 offensive rebounds. And that team, in the first half, they missed 16 shots and to only get 4 offensive rebounds. That's 25%. That's 20% under what they typically rebound on the offensive end. That's significant. That's substantial. It's the reason why we were up 15. It's the reason why we won the game. They got a couple of them late, on those last couple of possessions. But I thought overall our guys did a really good job of hitting and holding their checkouts and swarming the basketball and finishing possessions. So, and then anytime the ball went to the post, our guards did a great job of digging at it. Our bigs were very physical, and they did a great job of getting vertical at the rim and not letting them have any easy ones. So, we held them 37% from the field. Part of it, they missed 11 free throws. But, we'd rather them shoot free throws than get easy ones at the rim. So, defensively, I thought our guys did a good job executing the things that we needed to do.
Right.
SB, you said you thought you were going to have to hit 40% to be or better to beat this team. It's just 33%. You only have 1 in the second half. What does that say about the way you guys were able to grind for baskets there?
But we shot 90% from the free throw line. So that 10%, I told the guys we need to shoot 80% from the line. The fact that we shot 90, I think, makes up for the 1-3 that we probably could have or should have made. So, but yeah, to only make 1-3 in the second half and shoot 33%. That just kind of speaks to our guys' ability to just kind of hang in there. They tied the game with 7:50 left. That's an eternity in college basketball, especially on the road. They had all the momentum in the world, and we got into a timeout. We were like, you guys, if I were to tell you that with 7 minutes and 50 seconds left, we're going to be tied against one of the best teams in college basketball on the road, would you take it? And we're like, fuck yeah, let's go. And, they did a great job of responding. And, we hit back and we went on, I think I said we were going to be up 5 in the next media, and we got up 6. So our guys just responded and did a great job of taking that team's punch. 3 weeks ago, our team would have folded and let all that pressure get to us. And, our team did a great job of hanging in there and staying together.
Coach, KeShawn, 16 points, 9 boards. Could you talk a bit about how his efficiency has grown as the season's gone on? And then, KeShawn, if you would comment on that, that'd be great.
He's healthier now. He wasn't healthy. How many games we played? 10? 21. So like, he wasn't healthy the first 16 or 17 games of the year. He really just got healthy over the last like 5 or 6. And you've seen his production go up, and we're able to run things for him. And he's been doing such a great job of anytime a miss is coming off, he's crashing the offensive glass, and he's just he got way more pep in his step, way more bounce. And you know, we've always known how talented and skilled he is. And you see that with his touch around the rim. I thought that 3-ball in the second half was cash too. But you're making your free throws too. He's 12 and 13 in the last 2 games from the foul line. That's the difference between 16 and 9 and 12 and 9, which it is that makes all the difference in the world. So he's been great, but he's got to continue to stay hungry, because that's, I think, what's kind of fueled him. Is he's had a little bit of a chip on his shoulder to kind of show the rest of our league and the country what he's capable of, and he's just got to continue to do that. So.
Yeah, like Coach said, I'm getting back healthier, and a lot of that is me getting confident. The coaches and players to put more confidence in me to be able to play my game. And as season goes, I pray that I continue to stay healthy to be able to produce like I am today.
First half, KeShawn Hall, it seemed like you guys had a concerted effort to try to put him in switches against Chinley. What did you guys see from him in the first half that really helped you get off to that fast start?
Yeah, Ivy said to me in the locker room, for what it's worth, KeShawn Hall didn't miss a shot in Morals. I said, usually that's the kiss of death for, like, he's going to miss every shot now. And then he made his first two, I looked at Ivy, and he was like, I told you. So from there, I was like, Mike, just continue to feed him the ball, because when he, you've seen when he was at UCF, and you've seen at Auburn, when he makes a couple shots, at that point, the basket just gets really big for him. And he did a great job of attacking their switches. He got him on angles, and I thought the difference between his first half and the second half was, in the first half, he did a really good job of playing off 2 feet, using shot fakes when he needed to. In the second half, he got a little sped up and played off 1 foot, and Tommy did a great job of defending him at the rim. But made 3 threes early, and to have 22 points in the first half, 2 assists, 1 turnover, it's just phenomenal. It's the only reason why we were up 15 at that point. He kind of carried our offense and gave us the confidence we needed to, obviously hang in there. And for him to score 2 points in the second half, and our guys to find a way to, grind out that win was really important for our group.
Steven, there was a lot of talk about your relationship with Todd going into the game. What was that post-game handshake like, and be able to beat him head-to-head?
Yeah, I mean, Todd's had our number since we've been here. They've won 3 out of 4, and we've had, every time we've played, it's been for something significant. So SEC tournament championship, Final Four, they go on to win a national championship, and this game for us was huge, because this week, we made up a lot of ground as far as where we were in the SEC going into this week, and to do it against 2 on the road twice is, it meant a lot for our program. And they just came off 5 straight wins, so they were playing really well. So I'll call him after the game at some point and check on him, because he's a fiery competitor, and he's the best coach in our league, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for him and his staff. And he once he we'll talk at some point. I've been on the other end of that 3 times now, so I get it. But for our guys to be able to come down here and get our first win in 30 years against probably the best team, that was probably the best Florida team that we've played against in Gainesville since we've been in Auburn. And for us to be able to come in here and get a win is significant, and proud of guys.
We'll take 2 more.
Steven, a guy to your left has been an impactful SEC player for a while now, but for Williams Adams to come in here and make the winning plays he made today, what's that say about him, his character, just kind of how he's coming along?
Yeah, Sebastian is just, he's the ultimate team guy, and you look at his stat sheet, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 turnovers. That's not a great stat line for Sebastian, but like you said, just he's out there, he's making winning plays, and he's checking out every single possession. And then when we need it the most, he puts the most physical player in our league on his ass and scores a layup. So that no one else can do that. Sebastian did it, and he's mature beyond his years. He does so many good things for us. He will do whatever we ask him to do in order to win, and he's a prime example of why we continue to do this, because there's young men like him out there still, and I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of his development, and he's made our team as a freshman just so much better.
For last one.
Murph, as SP said 3 weeks ago, you guys probably don't win this game. what's changed for y'all, over these last few weeks to be able to go on this run that y'all had?
In my opinion, it's been the effort on defense. Like our coach said, nothing we do works without effort. So lately we've been putting more effort into everything we do, showing up at practice, whether it's come out. It's just a small detail. We've been putting more effort into everything we do, and it's starting to show on the court.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.